Cause let me check, my boy. Say nothing silly, you regret, my boy. Cause we got banana on the my boy. And I can send it in a text, my boy. Thumbs up or the emoji with the flex, my boy. Personalize every threat, my boy. Toll free. That's direct, my boy. And if you need a couple, I'm to connect, my boy, off the top.
I just scraped it off the top. Cut it off the road, off the curve, off the block. I was already sold out of work by 10 o'clock. Too deep in the streets, felt that baby to make a lot. Whenever she calls, do what I gotta do. I'm moving with a two. I paid it out of full.
Yeah, tell my Brooklyn, go see Chirac, Southside, C12, 911, grrr to the reality, we still outside. Mine on the richest, heart in the trenches. You can't throw dirt on the underground, we thrive in it. Ghana boys stocks on the rise, Charlie, this flex know they ready. See, we were not the ride nobody with, we're the ones who started with it. Translation, Yanni had to buy, Yanni had Yanni hits. This goes so hard, even the ops go with it, That's how you know we lit. Grrr,
trust, we ain't taking no loss. We be the hottest on the scene. Gemstones from the dust. Big dog, but she leash. Where's the love in the streets? Pour my heart on the beat. See that blood on my sheet. Yeah, when we ready.
Today, from Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia, it's Week 4 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Marcus Mariota and the Atlanta Falcons taking on Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns.
The weather this time of year in the South, perfect. Fall football weather, and we've got the roof wide open here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the heart of Georgia. Today, it's Week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Cleveland Browns and the Atlanta Falcons. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they enter play. They've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Browns on their way out now for the first time, and we'll also get a look at the player brought in from Houston to run this offense, and that's Deshaun Watson.
And it's funny how we always talk about how analytics are starting to creep into the game. One analytic that's been there for a long time, teams that start 0-3 usually don't make the playoffs. So we know one quarterback today that's determined to end that slide right now. It's not impossible, but this is a must-win for him and his team.
First play from scrimmage, Watson going to throw it. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. Well, this defense for the Falcons, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in.
And right away, gets the football. And his guys will take over at the 14-yard line in the red zone. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, two hands. Get two hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. 1st and 10, it's Patterson. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Cordero Patterson with now 15 rushing touchdowns on the year. And the Falcons take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. So the rushing touchdowns continue to stack up, CD. That now 15 for him on the year.
And give him a ton of credit for staying healthy, being a smart runner, and it's showing just how important he's been to his team. He's got to be their MVP at this point in the season, and those votes may have been turned into league MVP votes when it's all said and done.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. They had the fumble on the last drive, wound up leading to the opening touchdown. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. Watson. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Here's Nick Chubb, former prep and collegiate star here in this state at Georgia. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. They'll roll him out right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Lorenzo Carter make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. Cordero Patterson deep for Atlanta. Returnable here from the 38. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. We'll bring out the Falcons offense once more. Cordero Patterson ready to go again at running back. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator, actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as this season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, a run with Patterson. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Past the 20. Touchdown, Falcons. Cordero Patterson. His 2nd TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Falcons are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap. especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big streak like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Touchdown. Here's Koo to kick off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Watson now to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. In for the sack, Deion Jones.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. They go up the middle with Chubb. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. And taken right on the 30. And good work bringing that one back as he picks up about 16 on the return. And it will be Falcon football. So here are the Falcons to take over on offense. They're on a 3-game winning streak and right now looking good in this one as well. They're going to start to drive here on the ground with Patterson. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. 71 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Here's Patterson again. And some room to work. The 20. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 45 yards on the ground. Well, this is the reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Runs like that might get him another award.
Yeah, thunderbolt right out of the gate, huh? How about that? Hitting the defense hard early. And, of course, carrying the momentum from last week into this week's game.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll run with Patterson. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Cordero Patterson doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Falcons take a 3-touchdown lead. Well, this has all the makings of a landmark day running the football. He scored 3 times now. We haven't hit the quarter break.
You think back to Alvin Kamara, Christmas Day 2020, 6 touchdowns, which tied Ernie Nevers, the Hall of Famer. He's halfway there already. Some fancy footwork in the early going.
Koo for the extra point. It's good, and before you know it, it's 21-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
He's certainly one of those quarterbacks that can burn you with his mobility, but that time able to hem him in and get him to the ground.
Perfect descriptor right there about how they kept him in the pocket. Excellent job of containment, but they were still able to continue to bring such strong pressure without letting him escape. But how about those guys in the secondary as well? Kept the coverage tight, plastered to the receivers, and left no real options for him to throw it downfield.
The tight end, David Njoku, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
They need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Taken at the 37. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here.
Charles, they're really stringing these possessions and scores together early. We're still in the first quarter, but if they can score again here, look out.
Yeah, and as you taught me when we're broadcasting games, one word we're supposed to avoid, and that's blowout. But that's exactly what's going on here. Down 3 possessions just the first quarter. That goes beyond any worst-case scenario we might have thought coming into this game. And another touchdown here, that should eliminate any hopes for any type of a comeback.
And after his performance last week, everybody saw it. Unbelievable. You can expect a heavy dose of him again, I think.
Without a doubt. I mean, why wouldn't you? Because once you establish yourself that way, it's not just him, okay? It's his offensive line. It's a tight touchdown, Falcons.
Cordero Patterson. What is going on here? 4 first-quarter touchdowns. Unbelievable. As his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Here's Koo to kick it off.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
2 fantastic games coming up to wrap up Week 4, the first weekend in October. Tonight, the Chiefs and Buccaneers from Tampa. That's a rematch of Super Bowl 55, of course. And then Monday night, rematch of last year's NFC Championship game, the Rams and Niners from Santa Clara. Coverage on that one, 8:15 Eastern. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10.
At their own 25-yard line. Back to throw, Watson. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Another incompletion there. That's 5 in a row now to start this game. He's got to take a deep breath now, step back, shake it off a little bit, trust his offensive line, and hope that his play caller dials up something that can give him a completion and get him going.
And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
That's now 6 dropbacks, 6 incompletions. Yeah, the defense been pretty good early, but he's got to start hitting some of those throws. He's making them better than what they actually are.
And that's incomplete.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively, or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
Fielded at about the 28. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead can... Oh, a contested ball here, and it's going to be caught. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
Give to Patterson, running to the right. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. 178 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Again, Patterson. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. It's a pickup of 4, but they're still a yard short here with 4th down, forthcoming. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. Patterson, touchdown, Falcons. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
Now Younghoe Koo for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And that'll carry over the back line to the end zone for a touchback. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now Watson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Arnold Ebiketie in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number is just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
They go with Chubb on second down. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's third down. Now it's Watson.
Throw complete to Bell.
They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on third down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Here's Corey Bojorquez now to punt this one away. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Here's Corey Bojorquez now. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And taken right at the 35. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
On 1st and 10, it's Algier.
And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Out of the gun, a run with Patterson.
And he's taken down inside the 30.
Boy, 194 yards rushing for him now in the afternoon as he continues to put a hurt on this defense.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half.
On 1st down, going back to Patterson.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Cordero Patterson, halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50.
And the Falcons continue to pull away here in this first half. Koo now for the point after.
And the route is on here in this first half. Just a 4-play drive that time. And a 9-yard run on the end of it.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
The Browns now going to take over late in this first half. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive.
Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. Here's Watson.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
It's Eric Harris who picks it. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown.
I cannot imagine a more perfect half of football for one side, CD, and a more disastrous half of football for another side. But if you focus on the positive half, with this pick six, you look at where that lead is at, and to think that we are only in the second quarter. My goodness.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. At issue here, does the football make contact with the ground before he secured it? And I think some of these angles are going to give us a pretty good look.
Secured is the important part because the ball can touch the ground, but it can't be loose when it does. So that's what they're going to have to try and figure out.
Coup for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns going to go on offense one final time in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. Fresh off the pick six, it's Watson. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Here's Watson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And he'll be down at the 6-yard line. He already had the 1 fumble loss, so now 2 fumbles lost here in this first half.
Not setting the pace the way that you want it done. I mean, here in the first half, already twice the ball's come out and hit the turf. Got to find a way to take care of it. Otherwise, they may have to start thinking about maybe someone different at that position.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Straight ahead, Patterson. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Cordero Patterson as the first half is winding down. And the Falcons will extend their lead here just before halftime. And partner, are you kidding me? With this game that he's having, we are in uncharted waters like we've never seen before.
Just think, if he keeps every football from all the touchdowns scored today, does he need to build a new trophy room at home?
Yeah. A couple trophy rooms. Maybe a whole home for a trophy room.
What a phenomenal performance, and I'll guarantee you he's going to reward the rest of the offensive unit after this as well for helping him get to this number.
He better. This is just unreal. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Browns drive about to get started. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. So we are at halftime here in Atlanta with the Falcons out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday of October. We begin across the Atlantic in London, Minnesota, and New Orleans in the first of 5 games in this year's NFL International Series, where it was the Vikings acting as the visiting team who were able to come out on top. Kirk Cousins leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we head south to Texas to check on the Cowboys at home at AT&T Stadium. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. Carson Wentz has thrown a couple of touchdown passes there. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore and check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And you can see they trail the visiting Buffalo Bills in that ball game. Jamison Crowder, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. This will be fielded inside the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. First and 10 now for the Falcons, and Mariota just shy of the 30. Now Mariota. He'll rifle this one deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown Falcons. Bryan Edwards with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Falcons extend their lead yet again. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase it.
Now Younghoe Koo for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll start things off with a handoff to Chubb. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. This defense just continues to bottle up that ground game. And look, I mean, the deficit right now for this offense is so big that it might not matter. But you're still in the 3rd quarter. They're probably going to have to try things through the air, Charles.
I agree with you totally. That's what they'll have to do. They do need to run it occasionally to take a few hits off the quarterback, because right now, you just know those pass rushers are fired up to get after him.
A shotgun snap for Watson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
That's taken on the 25. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Mariota on 1st down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Bryan Edwards with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Falcons are pouring it on. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Well, you're just looking at the scoreboard and where we're at in the 3rd quarter. I don't know that it's going to matter much at this point, CD, but these small runs on the ground, they're not going to get it done.
No, they're not. And right now, the guys stopping the run have been superior in this ball game, giving them no openings, no seams, and now they've got this game well in hand.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
To throw is Watson. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
They just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. The Browns send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Let's take it inside his own 40. Touchdown! Falcons get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Koo now for the point after. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Cleveland offense making their way out. But the disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook. The bottom line is don't quit competing.
Arnold Evakady gets there for the stop. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
And he'll take this to the 32, a gain of about 3.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The Browns send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. This is taken at the 23. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. So out come the Falcons now. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They'll try to run with Patterson. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Cordarrelle Patterson taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Falcons will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. What a game it's been for him in the backfield, Charles, as he pounds it into the end zone yet again.
Yeah, and he hits the end zone one more time, and his blockers cleared all those lanes. Before the snap, they called for the heavy unit, right? 3 tight ends coming on the field, and they got the job done clearing the way.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. touchdown. Here's Koo to kick off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Browns offense trotting back onto the field.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides. Of the football, and one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They run the option on second down. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
And this is one of the dangers of letting your quarterback run the football. Now, look, he goes through ball security drills just like a running back does, but most of the time the quarterback swings the ball away from his body, and in traffic, sometimes they forget to protect it.
A shotgun handoff to Patterson. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 14 yards there and a Falcon first down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Algier now up the middle. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Tyler Algier with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Falcons are going to be moving to 4-0 as they extend their lead. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns set and ready to go on offense. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Watson. Buying time to his left. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. He couldn't get rid of it. He winds up losing a yard. It's 2nd down.
Well, it's obvious, but I can't help but say it here. It's never a good day when the opposing defense has more sacks than you have points. The win seems likely, but this defense is still playing for something here. They see that 0 on the scoreboard, and they don't want that to change.
Ball at the 24 and a 2nd and 11. Another try after the first down sack. Watson. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. And we'll see what he can do on the return. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And it will be Falcon football. Ryan Edwards in this offense, helmets on and ready to go again. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him.
Cordero Patterson, and he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Cordero Patterson. 56 yards. And the Falcons are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this fourth quarter advantage. CD, it'll go to the books as just one win, but this is a really impressive win. They've done it on defense, and here they continue to do it on offense. Another score in the fourth quarter to widen that advantage.
I like where you were going with that one. Would you say, partner, it was really 3 victories today? Landslide on the scoreboard, emphatic victory on either side of the ball. They really got it done.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. With the football going back over now to the Cleveland Browns. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Well, it looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
2nd and 11 now. Back to throw. Watson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
The one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Following that sack, Watson and the Browns backed up for a 3rd and long. They'll look to throw here. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And he'll take it just outside the 40. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard. But they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives. And I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out of this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
As that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today,
but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one, you're exactly right. Clean sweep, and boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mention in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play, and it'll be a third and about 13.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
And so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Mariota now to throw on 1st down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is caught. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. You can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to. Because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
Koo able to connect on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Falcons grab it. And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Browns getting set to go. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Now a first down throw, Watson, and his throw is incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him, and after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again, 2nd and 10 from the 25. From the gun, here's Watson. And incomplete. Nick Chubb, the intended receiver, but now it'll be 3rd down. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Now Watson on 3rd down. And now another one thrown incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield. They had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
The Browns send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. It's taken to the 26. And he's loose again. And they are going to finish this one off strong. It's a return touchdown to add on to their lead in the final stages. They seemingly just continue to score at will. And as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
I love how you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win. But one team has obviously imposed its will on the other and broken them. Because what we're seeing right now, wow, that's a defense that's in tatters after what they faced in this ballgame.
Koo able to connect on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out?
this they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw. Watson throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, his struggles continue. Open targets, and he keeps missing them, pressing way too much. He may have a big arm, but until he learns how to harness it and have some touch, he's going to continue to struggle.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. A very good punt, but a 16-yard return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Brian Edwards and this offense, helmets on and ready to go again. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him?
Cordero Patterson. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow. I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Watson. And that will be incomplete. Well, this one winding toward a conclusion. And how would you assess how the secondary is playing?
Well, we just saw them take another shot downfield that was incomplete, correct?
Correct.
So my assessment is that if anyone's played really well in this game, it's been the secondary. That was the latest example.
Yeah, they've been solid. Really, the whole defense has been solid. Still pitching a shutout. And they are going to finish this one off strong. It's a return touchdown to add on to their lead in the final stages.
Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill, but remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and tells everyone, we're going to give you a full 60 minutes, and that's exactly how they're playing this one out.
Coup for the extra point. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, we know he has home run hitting ability in the punt return department, and he showcases it there all the way back for 6. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Another opportunity now for the Browns offense. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while, or you call it a day?
You can do that, or you pick something that's a staple for you and should work better, and try and execute that on the way out the door and maybe get back to base and feel a little bit better as you end a ball game that's been a frustrating one for you.
And we'll see if they go back to base. So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Falcons, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0.
Hey, DJ Mosky, let's get it. We the champions here in Los Angeles. We doing numbers. Bringing home victory straight out the huddle. I met the plug, introduced to my brother. My squad superior, ain't none above us. We doing numbers. Gang in the building, we taking it over. Call the promoters. I just put up in this thing with my soldiers. I blew it and I'm still. Last minute, I'ma need me some. Call up Khalifa. Bring them in the. You know I stay with some bad little baby. CPOD, baby, know that's a gang gang. Crazy girls after the game. We throwing hundreds, we going insane. Pouring this. Dead homies got me pouring this. We get awards, but we give God the glory. I'm shooting my shot, and most times I